It was a good idea.
No, honestly, this year selected.
Oh my God.
Okay, quiz review.
You want
How much of this did we do? Or did you guys get a chance? I forget. What did we do? Was it for? This first page. Okay. Right, we'll work through. Oh yeah. Let me get you. Get to that.
Did you get me one? Bro, he stole Xavier.
Mendelot, grab me one.
Why did you steal the Vita guy? I missed it.
Anybody missing this worksheet?
God, I got this good moment from you. Very nice. You were the 800 side for that open one. Were you actually? No.
This was the Silva original.
That's crazy.
Apparently my computer is like, and they'll charge for. Yeah, it's got like 1% battery, so that's what the.
I know, I was searching for. That was very good.
20%.
Yeah.
Do you have a USB-C charger?
All right. So, guys, let me change number one to something that can be a little bit more manageable. If I can change that to just ln of n over n. Now the tests that we're responsible for on the quiz will be geometric, telescoping, integral tests, P-series, and nth term. Okay, so you're just going to be relying on these five. So no ratio or root test or comparison tests, okay, or alternating series. All right, so just these five: geometric, telescoping, integral, P-series, and nth term. Now, on the quiz on Friday, if you're using comparison test, that's okay if you're using it to confirm your answer, because some of these problems you can do multiple ways, but I won't be giving you credit if you are just showing me comparison tests on Friday. But you can use it to confirm your answer with another one of these five tests potentially. So number one, we have ln of n over n. This one, nth term test would be inconclusive because the limit as n approaching infinity will go to 0, and we know that approaching 0 is not good enough to confirm that the series converges. It tells us that it could converge, but it doesn't guarantee it. So maybe this is a better fit for integral test.
Okay, what page is it?
This is page 1. Oh, this is the quiz review.
Oh,
Do you have this handout? Okay, is anybody else missing quiz review? Right, so integral tests. Again, I'm changing the problem to make it ln of n divided by n. With this integral test, though, we do need to make sure we step through our conditions. So make sure you list out your conditions, which are positive, continuous, and decreasing. You don't have to prove any of these. You just have to be able to state it as it's going to meet these conditions. Right? Positive because this value is always positive to the right of 1, continuous. There are no breaks after we get past 1, and it's decreasing because the limit of this is approaching 0. So if we're doing an integral test, we can rewrite the problem. Limit as b approaches infinity. I'm going to convert the n's to be x's just to make it feel more familiar. Typically, if you're going through integral tests, it's going to have to be, it's usually u substitution to get through that process. So what's our u value here? Yeah, natural log of x. D over dx equals 1 over x, cross multiply. X's cancel out. We're left with power rule. So integral of u becomes u squared over 2. Bring back your x's. All right, what does this show us here? Yeah, it's going to approach infinity, so therefore it diverges. We can just say series will diverge by integral test.
If we list integral test as our test we're using up at the top, do we have to say down just like by integral test again?
No, as long as you indicate somewhere that you're using this test and they're showing the work that shows divergence. Okay, I know that you guys probably worked through a lot of the first page already, but let me just go through these problems here. Anytime you see something that doesn't fit a particular rule, this is obviously not geometric or telescoping or P series. So always try nth term, right? So if you do nth term, limit as n approaches infinity, you identify the highest degree. That limit approaches 1/4. So our series doesn't approach 0. So therefore our series diverges by the nth term test. Don't worry about the sequence. And then you're not expected to find the sum of the series unless it's geometric or telescopic. I would say nth term should be the first thing that you check. Yeah. It doesn't, if it gives you a non-zero, then it diverges. But if it gives you a 0, you have to rely on a different test. It's not good enough to show converging. Number 3, if you can pull that pi and e squared out in front, then it looks like P series to you. That coefficient has no impact on the series. So just 1 over n squared, and 1 over n squared is good enough to show converging because my p-value is 2, which is greater than 1. Number 4, think of n factorial as a degree. So you have n factorial divided by 2n factorial. The degrees are the same. The limit approaching infinity is 1/2. And so we can safely say our series diverged by the nth term test. Yeah.
That's number 1.
Sorry, I changed the problem. This is ln over n squared, which is yeah, which is using integration by parts, which I'm not going to have you do on the quiz. The most you have to do with integral test is use substitution, not with IBP. Number 5, that all the factorials, it's nice to break it down into individual pieces. And once we break down each of those factorials into parts that we can cancel out, we can see that the numerator still has a higher degree than the denominator, which we can safely say that nth term test shows diverging. Anytime I see fractions that are subtracting by one another where there is a staggered relationship, I know that I can use telescoping series to find my sum. I can just plug in 1. If you just plug in the first 4 terms, you should be able to see enough where you can be convinced the terms that cancel out and the ones that don't cancel out, whatever don't cancel out, will add up to your series sum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For a factorial, does the number, like when you're, multiplying by the numbers decreasing, do you multiply by itself first and then go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's n plus 1 factorial, it'll be n plus 1 times n factorial times, n minus 1 factorial. Number 7.
I meant like let's say it's like 5 factorial to third by
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so you wouldn't do 5 times 5 times 4 though, like you would
No,
just do 5
yeah,
times
just
5.
start with 5 and go down. Yeah. Number 7. Easy one to spot. As long as we get that n to the denominator, you see that p series tells us the p-value is 2/3, which is less than 1, which will diverge by p series. Number 8. You may be tempted to want to do comparison tests, but that's not going to be an option on the quiz. We can't do telescoping series because we can't factor that denominator. So we're kind of stuck with integral test. So go ahead and try integral test for number 8. Practice writing out your conditions, right? There's 3 conditions that I'm looking for integral test. Okay, so try the steps there, see if you can work through that process for number 8.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to integral test, so. The point of it is we take the integral and we're trying to do it.
Yeah, show that it goes to a real number or infinity. If it goes to infinity, then the series diverges. If it goes to a real number, then the series converges.
Just.
Yeah, and then do a limit as b approaches infinity. Just treat it like an improper integral.
And this
From
works
first-
for anything you can integrate.
Anything that you can integrate that looks like a U substitution problem. Yeah.
In P series, the exponent has to be in the denominator.
Denominator. Yeah. Okay, try number 9. Any questions with 8?
As long as. This shows go to 0.
Okay, what does 9 look like?
I'll just change.
Geometric series, right? So if it's a converging series, I want you to find the sum. So I expect you to find the sum if it's a converging geometric or a converging telescoping series.
At least.
For number 10, I think it's worth the time to break everything down into individual parts. And from there, we should be able to kind of rearrange and see what that's going to lead us.
This is obviously one. It's exactly so that we can have it. So from here, we find that line of everything.
Any questions up to 11?
You go over to
Number 10. Okay, so I broke this and I just, I know I can write this out as 3 over pi times 3 over pi to the negative n. I can break that down into the product of two bases here. And that 3 over pi to negative n, I can basically flip-flop my numerator denominator to make it pi over 3. So pi over 3, that's 3.14 over 3. That's a ratio that's greater than 1. So this is geometric series, diverges since my r is greater than 1. Remember, geometric series is a numeric value raised to a variable, and p series is a variable raised to a numeric value. Okay, see if you can finish off 12 through 14. And sometimes there are multiple ways to justify your answer. So no calculator on Friday.
I turned it, you can say that, isn't this equal?
Oh. Wait. Oh, it's the comparison chance.
Exponential capacity.
Why are you taking it to see literally across the room? Oh, just enter it. Well, they can put what they put on. So it's like no, no, it's not. You know what it someone can start why do you guys
Number 13, I can justify using geometric series test, or I can do n-term test. Either will be valid for 13.
Then no comparison test?
No comparison test. I mean, the only time you can use it is if you're trying to use it to justify or to confirm whether your answer is correct.
Oh, like you're not sure.
Yeah, if you're not sure, let's say you went through integral test and you think you got the right answer, but then you can also do potentially limit comparison test to confirm your answer on the integral
How
side.
come you're not allowing comparison tests?
I'm sorry.
I was just wondering why you're.
Oh, because I just want to have a quiz just over these 5 topics.
Oh.
Right, and then next week you'll have a full quiz, which is all the tests.
Oh.
So we're having a half quiz and the full quiz this weekend. That's why.
What? You have feedback.
All right, let's spend the next. Yeah, let's spend the next 5-10 minutes, see if we can make progress with worksheet 2. Let me just come around and see how you guys do as you begin worksheet 2. It's like eight questions. Front and back.
I have worksheet too.
It's in the thing.
Oh, is it in?
That's like. Yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes. See if you can answer the first few problems.
How do you do that?
Yeah, this one.
I thought this is, very good. Next is just, tax cut. Yes, it's an, it's just a constant.
They're not managing where, each other, not adopt the board. The first 5 minutes where, 2 is first. This one, right, this was, right, right. Both of these, yeah. The fourth backward. What is the third or?
Anyways, no, it's mine, but, it's zero. It's a zero.
Bro, it's turn test, lock in.
It's not.
What have I told you about?
It's GST. It's GST.
Or you can do that. As tells you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, quick question.
Oh, you can do and term. You actually can.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing this fast, like, like, the steps, right?
Remember, if it's approaching 0, it's a number, nth term test is only backward.
Okay.
If it doesn't equal to 0, then backward. Equals 0, it's inconclusive. But this one fits another.
Yeah, geometric.
There we go.
Wait, not.
Well, nth term test would not be.
That's not that.
Yeah, actually, no, because the limit of that will go to 0, and if it goes to 0, nth term test tells us that.
What's the difference? This one was
This one,
adding.
well, this one's greater than, it's greater than.
Oh, this is right.
This is this geometry.
How do you do metric?
I would pull the 3 out and make it 1/4 to the end.
3, yeah, 1/4.
Oh, that's what I.
That becomes then that's the ratio.
Yeah, I always forget 1/4 to the end. This is in the.
Yeah,
Like how one
play
to the
around.
end. Forget that like one to the end.
It's just 1.
So it's conversions. So you put the ratio. Whoa.
So your ratio is accidentally 1/4 with less than 1 and converges. And because it's a converging geometric series, we can find the size. Which is a sub
Yeah,
n.
yeah, convert by CSV. That's easy. That's not that. I wanted to.
Okay, for the second one, travel. So are you gonna ask for everything?
This was out here being the shit of bomb.
Yeah, okay. Geometry.
Okay, this is integral test. This is integral test.
That's what we get. That's a coach measure.
Yeah.
What would you do if some guys did anything above and?
That's why, wait, that's why you always have like elevator approach, just gives up red products. So it's gonna see complicated.
I'd be like.
Yo, what's number four? Locate, I don't know, that's why you take.
Mad sauce.
That's against the way.
Number four is mad stuff. That's a 50. Which number is that? It's number four. Did you tell you something? No. 15.
Alright, so next question. Actually,
That's crazy.
it's better go down this route. I'll let X watch. How do you know which look at your eyeballs, just like
Yeah.
that.
That means
It's really just you get a feel for it, bro. You just.
This one is not sliding at the early gate. Not sliding at the early gate.
Put in a test with you. It's probably the
Call-
only.
call- Not sliding at the early gate.
Shit's complicated. It looks complicated. Probably identical sets.
I'm repeating.
What?
Yo, what?
The most
Roll off
common
the field
first name,
but then.
the most common last name is Wang. That means the average person in the world is named Mohammed Wang.
Yeah, actually. Here comes. It's all.
Dang.
So, do you believe?
Is
Yeah, no.
And I had to learn this. I didn't put it in the text. Okay, you squint them still. Maybe I'll mess up.
Oh, it's this.
Negative one over here. Okay. Negative one over.
Already.
ln
All the rest.
due to B.
we have like, do we have investment today or is this?
Yeah.
Which one is this where it's the one? The one where it's like
Is it
n
two over
squared
ln
over
two?
two n squared equals 1/3.
Innocent.
Like if
Two over
you
two.
look at the signs on both sides, the exponent.
Actually.
Oh, that's like horizontal asymptotes. That's end term test.
This, why is it this A? It's maybe like.
What do you mean?
But not.
Like it's negative here, negative one over this.
You can build it either way. If you start at one, then it'll be a minus. If you start at zero, you can, but this would be my ace of one. That's fine.
Okay, so this is zero, but that's still base is one.
Ace of one is still.
Okay.
I just heard the.
Like, let me tell you, just got big, you just got bony hands.
Like compared to the rest of our artists.
That's like everyone's.
Yeah.
Would you be able to use term test on this, or would it just be 1/4 to 3n?
Well, the issue is if you try to do nth term, that